Hey there, Pro Church Media community, this is Jason again, and in this tutorial, let's take a look at how to create engaging social media posts directly on your mobile device. We've already looked at how to do this in both After Effects and Photoshop, and while they're both more powerful and flexible and will give you more creative options ultimately, sometimes maybe you're out on the go and you don't have your computer with you, or maybe you just prefer working on your mobile device. Either way, you can still create really creative and engaging content without a whole lot of effort or cost. So here's something I created earlier today. I just kind of threw it together for this tutorial. It's just a video on top of a background with shape on top and some text. All of this I just put together via a couple apps on my phone and put them all into one final project that I could upload as like an Instagram story or something like that. Maybe you have a sermon you recorded from the previous weekend or a worship service and you just want to highlight like 15 seconds of that with some text on it or something. This is a really great way to do something like that, and you'll find it's not terribly difficult to do. So we're going to use a couple different apps to pull this off. The first one is going to be called Adobe Draw, which is basically just a vector drawing vector drawing program. It's how you can draw vector shapes for these types of things. We're also going to be using Unsplash, and this is basically the actual Unsplash app for your phone, and this is how you can get great images really easily. I'm also going to be using Over, which is how we're going to be creating the kind of bokeh-y background thing that I had. And then finally InShot, which is going to be the app where everything kind of gets put together. And so let's start by finding our background image inside of Unsplash. So I'm just going to search for dark texture like I did earlier today. I'll just try to find the one that I used. There it is. So once you find it, you just click on it, download it, wait for it to download, and it's downloaded. That's it. So now I can just get rid of that, and now we'll go over and I'm going to create my vector shape real quick because I know I kind of want this triangle. Now in some of these apps, if you upgrade or subscribe to them, they'll give you access to a bunch of different shapes and things like that, which is maybe a good option. I didn't want to do that, and I also wanted to show you just how easy it is to do it on your own. So I'm just going to make a new project here in Adobe Illustrator Draw. I'll just do square because it doesn't matter because it's vector. And I want to come up to this little shape button and just pick that triangle and then just maybe scale it up a bit. Make sure I have a brush selected, maybe pull up the size of the brush. Let's do black for color's good. And then all I have to do is just kind of drag around the outline of that triangle and I have my triangle. Now I want to make sure my background is transparent just by double clicking on it like that, or double tapping I suppose. And then just go up to your little export button, say share image, and then it's going to basically save it to your phone and save image, and it's going to save it as a transparent PNG. And so that's really super helpful for this. So that's basically Adobe Illustrator Draw for this part of it. All right, now let's go to Over and make our background image. Over is a pretty powerful app, and I definitely suggest you check it out. So let's go start with a blank canvas here. And I'm going to add that image that I downloaded and just scale it up to fill the canvas. I might do a few adjustments. Let's just maybe blur it out a bit. Something like that'll be good. Hit OK. All right, now I want to add another image. So I'm just going to add that triangle that I just made. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of scale it and rotate it. And you can see how super simple this is to do. And maybe something like that. I might come over and let's see, maybe adjust the opacity, which is also awesome. And maybe make it more on the gray side a bit. So let's just bring the contrast down, something like that. Awesome. Hit OK. And then I'm going to add another one. So the great thing about Over is you can add multiple images to the same composition. So you have all these layers to work with, which is super awesome. Maybe pull the contrast down, move over to the opacity, and they don't all have to be the same opacity or blending mode or stuff like that. So this is a really super powerful app that can help you create just really cool stuff. I think maybe I'll add one more triangle. Maybe something like that. Pull the contrast down. Let's bring the opacity down a bit. I think that looks good. Okay. And if you ever need to make other adjustments, you can come up to your layers and select different layers. You can reorder them It's awesome. So definitely check out Over. So I got that done. I think I'm good with my background. I'm just going to hit Save to Photos. It's going to think about it and process it, and eventually it'll give you a notification that it's saved to Photos. So now we are done with Over. All right, so let's move over to InShot, which is really where all the magic kind of happens. So once you get into it, you want to start by creating a new video, and I'll do New. And I'm just going to choose that waterfall footage that I have. Again, if you took a shot from a sermon or from a worship service or something like that, you could obviously use whatever video footage you have, which would work awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go to Canvas, and I think I'll just do this 9:16 to go with kind of the Instagram story feel. Hit OK. And I want to come over to the other side, and I think I want to rotate that just so it fills it up that way, and then come back to the canvas and I can scale it down just to get that nice picture-in-picture going. I think that'll work good. Cool. All right, let's add in our background. So I just need to come over to Background right here, and then choose an image. I can choose that image that I just made. And by default, it tends to blur it out. I'm just going to maybe go halfway. Something like that will work. I think that looks good. Okay. Yeah, because we kind of got the lines a little bit, but they're indistinct. Looks great. I think I'm going to add a filter to my video just to make it, let's do the dark one. Yeah, I think that makes it feel a little more cohesive. That looks good. And you can play it just to see what it looks like. That looks good. All right, now let's add a sticker. And this is where I'm going to add another triangle. So that triangle I already made, I'm just going to drop it in there, maybe scale it up. Let's just bring it down here. You can move this around as you need to. Let's do something maybe like that. And you'll notice this little slider here. This is actually the duration of that sticker. So you'll notice if I start playing beforehand, the sticker doesn't come on until that playhead shows up. So you can time out your text, you can time out your stickers. It's pretty powerful and flexible. I'm going to have it the entire duration though. All right, so the last thing I want to do is just add some text here. Push text, and I'll say Alive. And I think I like the font. What do I have? Beebus, that looks good. Hit OK, maybe just move that down here. I can maybe just something like that. Good, let's play it, looks great. And so you can see it didn't take me a whole lot of effort to make this, but there's so many different things I could do creatively with it. And so I hope that this tutorial is helpful to you, and definitely go check out all of those apps and make some cool social media posts, and I will talk to you later.